Hello and welcome. This is Groovy Gift Giving. My name is Theodore. In today's video, we are going to do the first of a series that I mentioned in my last two videos, which were the top 10 tips for next level gift giving. In those videos, I mentioned I was planning to do a full video for every tip in that series, all 10 tips. I want to do a full video for each one. And this is the first in that series, which is on the topic of listening, the importance of listening in gift giving, and especially next level gift giving if you want to take your gift giving to the next level. In my previous videos, I mentioned how important listening was or is to next level gift giving. It's to the point where I believe every video I ever do on this channel will, in one way or another, involve listening, the importance of listening in next level gift giving. It's crucial, and I think it's one of those things that I don't think it can be stated enough to pay attention, listen to your partner or friend or coworker or whoever you're planning to buy a gift for. You need to listen and you need to pay attention, pay close attention to what they're saying. And it's in that act of active listening where you will find the answers to what they really want. And I guess just as importantly, what type of gift do they not want? What would they hate? What would they not enjoy receiving? What kind of things do they dislike? What do they think is a cliche? What do they think is boring? What do they get annoyed about when it comes to gift giving? These are all very important things to pay attention to. And if we are paying close enough attention, we will see that people do communicate their desires through a variety of ways, but I'm going to focus on two different ways of communication in this video: direct and indirect communication, and therefore direct and indirect listening, I suppose. Direct communication, this is when a person states exactly what type of gift they want, or I guess you could say what type of gift they don't want, but they directly say it. They say, I want this, I want that, I don't want this, I don't want that. So that's direct communication, which I think, depending on culture, depending on a family's culture or a friend group or whatever, it'll depend on that, what level of directness people have in this type of communication. Because some people are very direct about saying, they're not shy at all about saying, I want this, I want that. And then other people are a lot more hesitant to state directly what they want, or perhaps they just want to be surprised, or they want to leave you little breadcrumbs here and there about what they're most interested in. But yeah, some people really are direct in their mode of communication, and so it should be easy. It should be easy to figure out exactly what they're looking for and what they want or what they don't want. It should be easy. It should be easy. Sometimes it isn't, and I know that sometimes it is hard. This is a challenging thing. The reason why I wanted to make this channel in general is because this is a challenging part of our lives, is gift giving, and I think in an overall sense, just the way that we interact with people in our lives and the way that we show affection and show love is, I think, one of the best modes, of course, is through gift giving, which is what I'm hoping to help people with on this channel, is to help relationships. Okay, so some people are very, very direct in stating what they want and what they don't want when it comes to a gift, or I guess you could say in general in life, very direct about what they want and what they don't want. Some people will drop hints that are not too subtle. Sometimes they will, as I've mentioned in a previous video, where they'll say, I want this, hint, 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 kind of thing when they have a birthday or say a birthday coming up, or if Christmas is approaching or something. They'll even make a joke about the fact that I'm not being subtle when I'm stating what I'm looking for. And of course you need to pay attention to that, because there is a reason. If someone is being that direct, there's a reason why they are stating things so clearly. So there's a lot to talk about here, but I think I'll start by giving a couple of examples of in my life. I think all the examples I'm going to talk about, or most of the examples I'm going to talk about here, are gifts that I've bought for my wife and me paying attention to her stating what she wants and what she doesn't want. And I think the first example I'll give is way back many years ago, when we were before we got married, when we had just started dating. I think our first Valentine's Day, we had been together for about 3 months already. And in the previous 3 months, I had already given her a few gifts because she graduated in that time period. I think we'd only been together for a few weeks. She graduated, finished her master's, and had a graduation. And then shortly after that, of course, just a few weeks after that, was Christmas. So I had already purchased her items for both her graduation and for Christmas. Both of those gifts, and this was, I don't know, I think I was a pretty good gift giver even at that point, but I think I've gotten a lot better over the years. So I'm going to talk about some gifts that I probably wouldn't have given today. But the first gift I got her for graduation, I got her a gift certificate for a massage. Now, as in one of my previous videos, I talked about to avoid gift certificates and gift cards, especially if that's the only gift you give. But this was a situation where, well, like I said, I don't know if this would be a gift I would give again, certainly not as the only gift, but it was appropriate for the time, I think, because after finishing her master's, which had been a very stressful time, and I'm sure most people can relate to that when you have something like a graduation that's coming up. You have a lot of things kind of bottlenecking at once, and there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of pressure. And then once it's all over, it is a very, it's a very interesting place to be where, you know, all of the stress just sort of lifts, I guess, at one moment, and you're kind of left in this sort of, I don't know, shell-shocked kind of mode. And anyway, so that was kind of what happened after her finishing her master's. And so when she finished that, I got her a gift certificate for a massage, which she very much enjoyed. But I got her the massage, and then for Christmas, again, we'd only been together for maybe a month at that point or so, I took her out to a very, very nice dinner, and it was a big deal for us at the time to go to a very fancy dinner. We were both in college, so we didn't have a whole lot of money. So I got enough money together to take her out to a very nice dinner, and I did that as a Christmas present. Again, something I probably wouldn't do today. I've gotten a little bit better about knowing her and her likes and dislikes. But when Valentine's Day was approaching, we were talking about Valentine's Day and if we were going to plan to do something, go out to dinner or whatever. At one point, she communicated to me that she had appreciated my gift for graduation, my gift for Christmas, but what she wanted for Valentine's Day was something tangible. And that was something she very directly communicated to me as her desire for a gift for Valentine's Day. Now that I've gotten to know her more over the years, I know that she's very much into keepsakes. That's a thing that she loves, keeping things and I guess collecting things as memories from time periods and so forth is a very big thing for her. And now I understand that, and so it makes more sense to me that she was looking for something like that, and she had communicated that directly to me. So of course I listened. I listened to her desire, which again, step number one in this is to just listen. And she had said, "Let's get, or would you get me something that's a tangible gift that I can keep as a keepsake?" And so what I did is I bought her. At the time, she was very much into going to stores or I don't know if this is the thing anymore, but she would go and get perfume oil mixed at a store, and they would give you these little jars, little bottles of the mixed oil, and that was her perfume for the time period. At some point during this time period, we were out shopping, and she went to a store and bought some of that perfume. And I didn't know anything about this type of perfume, so I was paying attention, and she mentioned that this is what she does now, and she was getting it mixed, but she would just use the perfume out of the bottle. But she had said something about, maybe someday I'd like to get one of those, like a little decanter to carry the perfume. And so I took a mental note of that, and that's what I went out and bought her, was a really fancy, kind of nice crystal decanter with a little dipping thing to go in it that was specifically for this perfume oil that she was using at the time. So it was I guess in a way that's a sort of a mix of indirect and direct communication. And so listening and paying attention to things that were directly said, but then also listening to things that she stated just sort of out of the blue while we were out shopping, was that she wanted someday to get a decanter for the perfume oil that she was very into at the time. And so I was paying attention, and that's what I ended up buying her. And I remember very specifically, I lucked out on that because there was a store that I loved that unfortunately was going out of business, but I got one for not much, and a really, really fancy, nice one that she still has to this day. She loves it, and it's something that she still has displayed in our house, is this perfume decanter. It was something, like I said, it was what I, now after listening and paying attention over the years, I know that she loves receiving things like this as not just as a present, but as a keepsake, something that she can remember from those time periods. And so, and it makes sense to me now. I understand that. Like, that's a keepsake, something she'll always have, and it reminds her of that time period. You know, the massage might have been great, but I mean, it might have been great for the moment, but it's not something that she doesn't have a memory of it. She doesn't have something to commemorate that memory. Same thing with the very nice restaurant that I took us to for Christmas. Those are great memories, and those are I think still great gifts, or great things to do as a gift. And I don't say I regret it, but it is something that I've learned over the years, that if someone really likes keepsakes, then that's really important to get them things that are tangible. And my wife definitely likes keepsakes, and I've learned that I do too. I really very much enjoy, I have some from even my childhood right behind me here. So it's something that I think that's another thing when it comes to next level gift giving. Something else to keep in mind is whether people like to keep things as keepsakes. And that's getting off topic of the topic of listening, but it is something that's really important to pay attention to. So some other examples that I've known in my life of people who have very directly communicated what they were looking for and what kind of gifts they were looking for. My wife's father has at times in gift giving scenarios communicated very specifically, get me a gift card, because he shops at like Bass Pro Shops, stuff like that, places like that often, and he wants something that he can get there, but he doesn't trust the gift giver to buy the exact thing he wants. So when it comes to a gift scenario, he wants to get a Bass Pro Shop gift card so he can go buy whatever he wants himself, which I've mentioned before, and I will probably mention over and over again. I don't particularly like giving gift cards, particularly as an only gift, the only gift someone gets. But if someone directly communicates that, then there is a reason for them communicating that. I have another relative who always says, please get me golf balls for Christmas, for birthday, for whatever. He's an avid golfer, and he doesn't really need or want much of anything. So he always says, yeah, golf balls, give me golf balls. And it's always a gift for him that he's going to use and he likes and he loves. So it's something he always, yeah, it's simple, it's easy, and it is really what he wants. So it sounds boring to me. Please don't ever just get me golf balls. But again, this is, what we'll talk about in the next video is you're getting the gift for them, not for you. I mentioned in the previous video that my mother had one day, quite a few years ago, had communicated to all of her children that she no longer wanted to receive any gifts from us for birthdays or Christmas or Mother's Day or whatever, that she was, I guess, had received so much over the years that she was starting to, her house was getting cluttered with stuff and she didn't know where to put anything anymore. So she specifically didn't want to receive any more gifts from us. And I also mentioned that she would, since what she's looking for, what she's asking for isn't that she doesn't want a gift at all. She just doesn't want anything else that's going to clutter up her home. We can of course get her gift cards or a gift certificate of some sort, or an audiobook or something would be very appropriate for her. But it's specifically that she's communicated, I don't want any more stuff in my house, so please stop getting me things that's going that are going to complicate my life anymore. Very understandable. And again, a very direct thing that we all need to listen to, pay attention to, and honor in relationships. So that's another example of something that happened where very direct communication took place. A very direct like or dislike was communicated, and there was a need for us to listen if we were going to actually do what our loved one wanted. So the next type of communication that we need to participate in when it comes to listening and gift giving is indirect communication. Now this is a little bit trickier because it takes us really paying attention sometimes, and that can be hard. But this is when people in life state their likes or dislikes outside of the context of gift giving, maybe sometimes without outside of a context even close to gift giving, and we're paying attention to that, and we understand them, understand their likes, dislikes, interests, and we buy gifts according to that which is not directly stated. If I am out shopping with my wife somewhere, I guess both of us will regularly mention things that we like. Oh, ooh, that's fun, or that's cool, that's cute, that's interesting. And if you're just paying attention to one another when we're shopping, we're stating likes and dislikes all the time. Same thing when we see a commercial, or if we're watching TV shows and we say, oh, that's interesting, that's fun, that's cool, whatever. During those moments, that's when we are indirectly just stating our likes and dislikes. We're not directly saying, I want this, I want that for a gift, but it is the kind of thing where we reveal our actual desires and interests just in life. And this is where the real gold in next level gift giving exists, is where we really are paying attention to what isn't stated, and where we can really find what people are interested in, and can actually have a really meaningful, and a lot of times a very nice surprise gift can take place in this type of communication. And I believe that it's in this realm of indirect communication where the real fun in gift giving exists, where I mentioned before, I get bored with gift cards. I get bored with someone saying, I want this gift. But it's in the indirect communication where we uncover what someone actually wants. Sometimes maybe they haven't even really, maybe they're not even aware that they're communicating their likes or dislikes. But this is where you have to keep in mind, gift giving all the time, no matter what scenario you're in. This is where the good stuff is. This is where it gets really fun and really meaningful, where it can really enhance our gift giving and enhance our relationships. So back on my first example, where I talked about that very first Valentine's Day, my wife and I, well, we weren't married at the time, but where she directly communicated, I want something tangible. But she didn't directly communicate that she wanted something like the decanter, the perfume decanter, for her Valentine's Day gift. Well, I was listening to her when she was just talking about it, because I was taking an interest in her mode of getting this perfume oil, and I was paying attention, and she had communicated an interest in getting a decanter at some point, and so I went out and found her one. It wasn't something she directly said, I want that as a gift, but she was communicating that she wanted a perfume decanter at some point, and I was paying attention, so it was an indirect way of her stating her interests and her desires, and so I went out and got that for her. So I guess that is an interesting combination of a direct and indirect form of communication. And indirect, I guess I was listening to something that was indirectly communicated in this moment about her interest in the decanter. During that same Valentine's Day, I decided to get her something else. I don't know, after a while, I really wanted to impress her. I really wanted to get her something meaningful. And especially now that I understood that she specifically wanted things that were tangible and she liked to have things as keepsakes, I decided to get her something else. Now, by, I guess, 3 months in, I had learned more about her through, again, this is the indirect communication. I was listening to her talk all the time and paying attention to what she was, to her interests and so forth. And I had learned that she loves displaying pictures. Now, she's not someone who wants to blow pictures up to a really big size and display a handful of them. She likes to display lots and lots and lots of little photos or pictures all over the place. Snapshots, I guess, in most occurrences would be a good way to describe them. And that's what she likes to do. So I learned that in the first 3 months or so before our first Valentine's Day, that she likes to do that. I also had learned that she very much liked things that are heart-shaped, which worked out very nicely for me on Valentine's Day, that she likes things that are heart-shaped. So in addition to the perfume decanter on our first Valentine's Day, I went out and bought her a heart-shaped picture frame for a picture that she and I had taken early on in our relationship when it was I guess we would definitely call it a selfie today. I don't know if selfies really existed at this point because this was a while ago, but we took it on one of those disposable cameras and had to get the film developed, but we successfully took a selfie on one of those old cameras, and we both really liked that photo of us. And so I went out and found a really cool picture frame shaped like a heart where she could display that selfie of us. And so it worked out really, really well. And she liked both gifts, and it was a successful gift exchange. Well, anyway, this example is not based on anything that she specifically said she wanted at all, other than, I guess, the fact that she wanted things that were tangible. But I had gathered, again, just through hearing her talk, observing her apartment at the time, covered in snapshots of her friends and family all over the place, and had heard her say or had seen her display various things that were heart-shaped. So I went out and bought the heart-shaped picture frame. So it worked out very, very well. But yeah, all of that was based on me listening to things that she was indirectly talking about, but that I moved in the direction of, this would actually be a really nice thing for you to have as a gift. This is good information that I'm gathering for a future gift. I like to view gift giving as the ultimate form of relationship communication, and I guess communication feedback would be a good way to say it. Every book, every blog, every YouTube channel that discusses relationships of any kind, of how to maintain them or cultivate them, talks about the importance of communication. And I believe that to be true. I've seen that in my life. Of course, it's very, very important to be a good communicator and to be a very good listener. On that topic, I think gift giving is perhaps the best way to show you have been listening. It's the best way to show that the communication in the relationship is good, and that you are a good listener and that you're a good communicator. I think that gift giving isn't just about having fun or getting things or giving things. It's about showing I was listening. It's about showing I hear you, I see you, and here's my evidence in the form of a gift. And I am discovering that I can talk about these topics for forever. I can go on and on and on and on about topics involved in gift giving, and listening is one of my favorite topics to talk about when it comes to next level gift giving. But I think I need to cut it off now. It's getting these videos are getting really long. So if you want to get a good gift from me, liking and subscribing is the best way to show that. And that is it for this video. I will address the topic of getting the gift for them which was my point number 2 in my top 10 list of tips for next level gift giving. I will talk about that in the next video, so look forward to that. And I will see you in my upcoming video. Bye. Thanks.